Shalom, everyone. Welcome. This is Chazak Aliyah Yasharal. And once again, we are right back to present you with something else to stir your mind. Okay. So today, what will we be looking at today? Oh, before I begin, if you find value in this post, please please share this video. Drop us a comment. And most importantly, subscribe so you can get more of these teachings. So today, we're going to look at a question that I received from the YouTube comments. And this is one of the things that we plan to do. Those questions left in the comments that we can answer quickly, then we will strive to do so. All right? So this question, this person said, "Thank you for this teaching, brother. I have been watching you on the Just a Word channel and have been enjoying the teachings. I do have one question for you. I have been calling the Most High Elohim, and I have been using Aluah at times as I have heard you and others use it. But I like to make changes like that based on scripture so that I can have confidence in using the term. I don't have confidence using Aluah right now. Can you give me some scriptural insight regarding the use of Aluah versus Elohim? Thank you. Toda in advance, brother. I appreciate your labors." All right. So here we go. The thing about Eloah, it is about 70 or 80 times written in scripture, but it is not seen because of the translations. Most of the translators use Elohim, which is a relatively new term. The term Aluah came from Eloah. If you look in modern Hebrew, you will see they use Eloah, E-L-O-A-H. And let's just go there. So where did Aluah come from? All right, if you look at this word here, this is a commonly used word in modern Hebrew, which they pronounce as Eloah. First of all, though, you have to understand the use of vowel pointing by modern Hebrew in order to create the sound of the word. But in ancient Hebrew, there was no vowel pointing. As a matter of fact, there was no O, as we see here in ancient Hebrew. Neither was there an E. No O, no E. If you look here in the Hebrew, this first letter here is Ayin. This is an A. This is Lamed, which is L. And this is a Wa, which is a U. And this is a He. And we know that when there is a Wa before the He, it is pronounced Wa. Just as in Yahuwah. This is how Yahuwah is spelled. This is the two last letters of Yahuwah. Hua. So it's not Eloah. It's A, Ayin here. Luah. Aluah. Aluah. And if you go even to the modern pronounce the E as an A. If you go to the pronunciation of Yeshua, you probably can hear this.
Yeshua, 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 Yeshua.
Yeshua, Yeshua. And this is a female from Israel. This is how they pronounce it, with an A sound, because they know that it is an A. So that is where we get Aluah from. The Sefer has gone into more detail in translating the words. They use the modern Hebrew as well, but they use, if you notice on the bottom left there, it says El, Eloah, Elohai, Elohim. So the E would be the A. It's Al, Aluah, Elohai, and Elohim or Elohim. And we see the different names here for the Most High. The Most High is Al-Alion. And further down you see on the right here, Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah, dear Aluah. There are different suffixes that are placed at the end of Eloah, or Aluah in order to get the different, what do they call it, pronouns, right? So Aluah, Yahuwah Elohim would be Yahuwah their Aluah. Yahuwah Elohaika, Yahuwah your Aluah, singular person, if it's only one person. Yahuwah Elohaikem, Yahuwah your Aluah for a group of persons. Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah our Aluah. And Yahuwah Elohaihu, Yahuwah his Aluah. And we also have Yahuwah Elohai, Yahuwah my Aluah. But in the translations that we have, they don't usually write these names, because what they do, they write it out. So if they are going to write out, for example, Yahuwah our Aluah, they would not write Yahuwah Eloheinu, they would write Yahuwah our Aluah. So that's why you don't see it exactly as Aluah in the different versions, unless of course you have a version like the Sefer, which goes into detail restoring back these names as they were in the manuscript. All right. For example, in Exodus 3:18, they have, and they shall hearken to your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Yasharal, unto the king of Mitzrayim, and ye shall say unto him, Yahuwah Elohai of the Ivrim has met with us. So that is Yahuwah, my Aluah. And now let us go, we beseech you, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to Yahuwah Eloheinu. So in the other translations, it would say that we may sacrifice to Yahuwah our Aluah, or the Elord, our God, as they would have it. But here, it is restored, Yahuwah Aluah Heinu. Okay? So now we have that. Let's just give a little bit more on the history of the word. So let me get this and make sure everything is lined up, all right? So the word Eloah is a singular or dual form of what they have is Elohim or Elohim, and appears more than 70 times in the Tanakh, primarily in more poetic passages. The root meaning of the word is unknown. It is generally thought that the same divine name is found in Arabic, Ilah, as singular, a God, as opposed to Allah, meaning the God or God. And in Aramaic, Allah, though note the term Allah is borrowed from the original language. In the Tanakh, the singular form is used in 6 places for heathen deities. 2 Chronicles 32:15, Daniel 11:37-8. Though when I check the Sefer for that, I find the word Elohim used instead of Aluah. All right? Though in the majority of cases, the name is used for the Aluah or the mighty one of Israel. Okay, let me just run this down to additional information. So here's some additional information about the name Aluah, which they have as Eloah, from the Theological World Book of the Old Testament. Aluah, God. The exact relationship between this name for the Most High in Scripture and Al or Elohim is disputed and far from settled. It occurs in some of the oldest Old Testament poetry, such as Deuteronomy 32:15 and 17, and very frequently 41 times in the debates between Job, an ancient believer, and his friends. It appears, therefore, to be an ancient term for the Most High, which was later dropped for the most part until the time of the exile, and after, when there was great concern for a return to the more ancient foundations. And this is what we're doing now in the end time, going back to the old path, which is the good way. So we're going back to the old ancient name of Aluah. It is not frequently used outside Job. It occurs once in Isaiah, once in Proverbs, twice in Habakkuk, 4 times in the Psalms, and then in the post-exilic books, 2 Chronicles, Nehemiah, and Daniel, a total of 5 times. Marvin H. Pope, in his book Al in the Ugaritic text has noted that Aluah never has the article, although it is once determined by the suffix in Habakkuk 1:11 and found once in the construct Psalms 114 verse 7. He further points out that it never occurs in combination with another divine name. So that is the value of Aluah. Never occurs in combination with the name of another mighty one. All right? We shall first look at the usage outside Job. 3 times it occurs in parallel to rock as a descriptive term for the Most High. Deuteronomy 32:15, Psalms 18:31, H32, Isaiah 44, verse 8. Once it is found in a context in which the Most High is described as a shield to those who take refuge in him, Proverbs 30, verse 5. 3 times it is used in a context of terror for sinners, Psalm 50:22, Psalms 114, verse 7, Psalms 139, verse 19. This would suggest that the term conveyed to the Most High's people comfort and assurance while conveying fear to their enemies. The concepts of strength and might conveyed by the term are further seen in the 3 successive verses of Daniel's vision about the great anti-Aluah, anti-Elohim, Daniel 11:37-39. Here the anti-Elohim's mighty one, Aluah, seems to be strength itself. In Habakkuk 1:11, the term is used similarly. In Habakkuk 3:3, the prophet speaks of Aluah coming from Teman. In Job, Teman is associated with one of Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz, Job 4:1. Interestingly, the term Aluah, used for the Most High, is predominantly used in Job by Job and Eliphaz in their debating. Only in one context does Zophar use the term, and that is in Job 11:5-7. Bildad never does. Of course, Elihu uses it, perhaps in imitation of the former speakers, 6 times in chapters 33-37. The Most High himself, in speaking to Job, uses the term twice, once in a context of his providence and once in parallel to the Almighty. See our discussion on the concept of might associated with the name. So this term for the Most High was usually clearly used for Israel's mighty one, the true Aluah. This is evident from the fact that the Levites in the post-exilic period used the term in quoting the descriptive revelation of the Most High given in Exodus 34:6-7, where the original revelation to Moses had used Al and Yahuwah. Nehemiah 9, verse 17, or Nehemiah. The Hebrew word is quite similar to the Aramaic Elah, the usual name for the mighty one for Aluah in biblical Aramaic. It has been suggested that the term has come via Aramaic from 2 elements, Al and Ah. Ah there being a shortened form of Ahaya, Exodus 3:14, I shall be, the designation of Yahuwah in the first person. Fagin, Samuel 1, the origin of Elo, God in Hebrew. This suggests the possibility that originally 2 separate mighty ones were involved and later combined. Such a suggestion does not seem likely, inasmuch as the term is in Scripture almost always used as a designation of the true Aluah, the true mighty one. It is probably akin to the term Al. It was in use quite early. Then after a period of neglect among the Most High's people, the term was revived to a limited use, perhaps through the contacts with Aramaic, where a similar term was in constant use. So there we have it. The term was in use, and then it was forgotten, and then it was returned to as people return to the ancient paths, which is what we are doing today, as we said before. All right? Story about Aluah. Eloah, E-L-O-A-H in modern Hebrew, but the true rendering in ancient Hebrew is Aluah, and it's a singular term for what they say is Elohim. I, rather opted for the term that is older and that actually is used by those who are dear to the Most High and used almost exclusively for the Most High himself. All right, so that's the difference between Aluah and Elohim. Aluah is really the Eloah, which is a singular form of Elohim. We go back to the pronunciation in the Paleo Hebrew, not the pronunciation that is in the modern Hebrew, which they call Yiddish, which is not the same language of the scripture, not the same original language of our people. All right? All right. So if you had value, found value, please share, please like. And if you have not yet done so, please subscribe as we continue with these videos. And we'll try to do them daily, all right, for the time being until we can, we have enough content. Then we don't know what will come after that, what the Most High has in store, but we'll just continue to provide what we feel are informative little videos that can help us to increase our wisdom, our knowledge, and our understanding. All right. This is Chazak Eliyahu Yasharal here from Just a Word, signing off. All right. Shalom.